Alright guys, in the last video we went ahead and we created our tables. We're using Postgres instead of MySQL for this project. We have our bookmarks controller, we have our auth, our login controller and all that. Now, if you've been following along, then you know that we added a username to our database. In fact, let me just check that again just to make sure it's... Let's see, so this is query 1. Let's see, we want users, and let's go ahead and view the data. Wow, that takes a little while. Alright, so right here you can see we have a username field. Now, Laravel, the authentication system, kind of prepares you for this. If you want to use a username instead of email, you just have to add it to the model, and then we have to edit the registration a little bit. So let's go ahead and enable authentication. We haven't done that yet. At least I don't think. No, we haven't. So let's go ahead and run PHP artisan, and we're going to say make auth. Okay, and that's going to create the authentication scaffolding. All right, now, like I said, if you want to use the username instead of email, you want to go to your controllers and then auth and then login controller. And we're going to go down here. And you just want to create a function called username. So public function username. And then all we need to do is say return a string of username. Okay, and we'll save that. Now, let's see. If we go to our site now and reload, since we enabled authentication, we should have these two links up here. And if we go to login, it's still email. We have to actually manually change the form and all that. If we go to register, there's no username, so we have to add that as well. So let's start with the registration form. If we go down to, let's say, where is it? Resources, views, auth, and then register.blade.php. All right, and then what we'll do is let's copy this div. This is the name field. Okay, and then we're going to just go, that's the name field, this is the email field, this is the password. I'm going to put it in between email and password. So we'll paste this in, and then we just want to change all the instances of name to username. Okay, this right here, the label, the for, the ID right here, the name. Let me just wrap this so you guys can see all of it. Let's see. Where is it? I'm having a brain fart. Toggle soft wrap. Alright, so right here we also want to change it. Let's see. If there's errors, we want to change it there and here. And that should do it. So if we save that now and we go back to the register form, you'll see there's a username field, okay? Now, when we submit this form, it's still not going to look for the username. We have to add that functionality. So let's go to our register controller and go down to, let's see. Actually, first of all, let's add it to the validator. So we'll just go ahead and copy this. And then let's change this to username. It's going to be required. String, minimum 6, that's okay. No, let's do minimum 4. And we just want to get rid of the confirmed. Alright, and then down here when it creates it, we need to add the username here as well. So let's put that right here. Okay, and then let's go to the model. If we go to, let's see, user.php, I'm going to add it to the fillable array here. All right, let's do username. All right, we'll save that. All right, so I think we should now be able to register a user. Let's go ahead and try. So name, email address, username, I'm just going to put Brad, password. Alright, and let's try it out, register. And there we go. So it says we're logged in. Now let's go check the database. So we'll go to Postgres. And this is the users table. What we can do is click the little lightning bolt and it will run the query again. And now you can see we have a user. The username Brad, we have the email, the hashed password, everything is good. Alright, so let's go ahead and log out. And then if we go to log in, we still have the email address here. So we need to change that form. So let's go down to views again and we'll go to our login. And where we have the email, we're just going to change this, all the instances of email, we're going to change to username. Alright, let's make this type text. Actually, let's start up here. We need to change that. For username. Name right down here is also username. This right here, the value. Alright, and then right here and right here. Okay, so that should do it. Let's save and go to the login form. And now we'll try to log in. So Brad and log in. And there we go. So now we have our login system, and instead of using email, we're using username. Alright, so I just want to look at the routes real quick. If we go to routes and then web. And I want to get rid of the home controller. I'll keep the home route. We'll keep it at /home just so we don't have to change a bunch of stuff. But let's set this to go to the bookmarks controller index. Alright, and then yeah, that should be good. So let's save that. And then if we go here and reload, it's going to break because we need to go to our bookmarks controller and create the index. Alright, and we're going to do the same thing that the home controller does, which is just returns the view. Alright, now we also want it to be, you want to be authenticated to go here, so we have to add this to the constructor. So I'm just going to grab this here and put that in the bookmarks controller as well. Alright, so now reload and we're back. So now that we have our authentication working, in the next video we're going to make it so that on the dashboard we have a button that we can add bookmarks. And we're going to do it a little different. We're going to use a Bootstrap modal, so we're going to have a pop-up with the form. We'll be able to submit that, and then we'll be able to see our bookmarks in the dashboard. Alright, so that's what we'll be getting into next.